Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Gemology for Schmucks. My name is Peter Nelson, and I'm here to guide you in everything you need to know about gemstones. Today, we are continuing on with our quest to facet the massive Beryl crystal. So I took the stone to my friend Mike, who owns the stone, and we decided that we better cut the stone. Yes, the inclusions are amazing, but there's just something that feels so unfinished about a stone that has a pavilion that's kind of, this shape. So we decided to untwist that and put some actual mirror-like facets on it and see what would happen, because we don't actually know. What we do know is that as you bring in those facets, as long as you use the appropriate angles for the refractive index of the stone, if these words sound strange to you, then you can check out the video on refractive indices. But anyhow, the angles are tied to that refractive index. And so if you get them right, what happens is that the light goes into the crystal and bounces from one facet to the next facet and then back up to your eye. And that basically creates a mirror from the walls of the crystal itself. Now that can do a couple of things for us, some of them good, some of them bad. In a stone like this that has so many inclusions, which are really cool and all, but if you have a mirror-like facet, you get that Hall of Mirrors effect sometimes. The location of those inclusions could actually bounce the image of those inclusions, making it look like there are a whole lot more than there actually are. Most of the time, that's down by the Q-lit. But who knows what's actually going to happen in this case, because there's inclusions everywhere. So I wait with bated breath, but really it's inadvisable to hold your breath for 3 hours while you facet the rest of this pavilion. I know I'm slow, I'm new at this, okay? Self-admitted schmuck here. So it took a little bit of finagling for me, so you might actually notice in this frame that some of my facets don't continue in that same line as they step down towards the keel line. Now this stone does not have a Q-lit point, it has a longer line that we call a keel line. A lot like the underside of a ship. I'm sure that's probably where it comes from. There's a lot of other boating or marine terminology in gemstones. The marquise gemstone cut that we've all heard is sometimes also called the navette, which evidently in French means little ship. How cute. But aside from that particular weird set of steps, I would say that the stone turned out pretty well overall. And even though this stone has a lot of inclusions, it didn't get that weird Hall of Mirrors effect, and you don't see the inclusions so brutally. And I think the reason for that is because these thin film inclusions are actually oriented much more perpendicular to the table. So when light goes into the stone, it doesn't hit these inclusions first. Now, I could be totally wrong on that description, but that's my understanding of it so far. Either way, it turned out to be a fantastic stone, and you only really clearly see the inclusions when you illuminate them by turning it a little bit off axis. So personally, I think that this big honkin' stone is actually a really cool opportunity for some very creative jewelry. If you were to set it, remember, we want the facet pointing out on a pendant. So if you had it facing down on a choker or something like that, you could even use some clever LEDs and backlight it and see some of those iridescent films. Who knows what's possible? But that's the nice thing about creativity. It can take you anywhere. And all the better if it hasn't been thought of before. So anyhow, that's the story of the Mega Beryl. It is owned by my good friend Mike at this moment, and if you would like to get a hold of him, his Instagram contact will be down in the description below. Otherwise, you are encouraged to hit that like button and subscribe button if you haven't already, or you can head over to gemshepherd.com where you can get in touch with me directly and read more blogs and things about investing in gemstones and jewelry, and explore more about gemology as well. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until next video where I will show you more of what I'm learning about in gemstones and gemstone cutting, right here with the Sri Lankan handpiece machine. So thank you for joining me, and until next time, bye-bye.